Awesome. Okay, great. So welcome everyone. Sorry about the slight technical issues there, people on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are live with Hannah, the amazing florist from Hannah Burnett Florist, and we're very excited to interview her today. So yeah, I've been running these interviews for the last month or so, just to kind of bring a little bit of extra value to our lovely bride and grooms and couples planning their weddings during lockdown, because there's so much people can be doing, and I just thought it would be great to have some experts online who can just advise on, you know, what people can be doing right now. And the people I've invited are people that I work with on a regular basis, so, you know, really highly recommended. And it's just been great hearing from so many wedding planners, stylists, elopement suppliers, and who else have we had on? I can't remember now, my brain's gone blank, but yeah, it's just been really great just hearing from people working in the industry at the moment. So Hannah, please introduce yourself.
Hello. I've never done anything like this before, so I'm a little bit nervous. So I am Hannah. I run and own Hannah Burnett Florist. We've got a little studio up at Estover, just on the edge of Plymouth, looking in the hills of Dartmoor. I've been a florist since forever, and I've owned my own business since 2014. And we've done a lot of weddings since 2014. I did a lot before where I used to work, but we've done heaps. We normally do, well, on average these days, sort of 80 a year. So yeah, quite a lot. So yeah, a bit of an expert, I guess.
Amazing. Brilliant. So what sorry, I just forgot what I'm asking next. So yes, we have been photographing elopements obviously well before lockdown, and at the moment only small weddings are allowed up to 30. So you know, it'd just be great to hear kind of what your favorite elopement or kind of small wedding has been, and kind of what that looks like in kind of what you provide for flowers, because obviously I imagine it can be quite different to what you provide or supply for, you know, one of your really big weddings.
Yeah, actually, I really love a little elopement wedding, or even a secret wedding. We've done a few that have been completely secret and nobody's known about it either, like until they've turned up, or not known about it until it's all happened afterwards. But no, I really love it. So it's nice just to, it's much more, I find them much more chilled, I think. Obviously there's a lot less to, not a lot less to plan, but they're sort of obviously smaller things, there's less to do. So they're a bit more natural, maybe, the bouquets, just generally bride, maybe a small bridesmaid and a buttonhole or two. So yeah, really, really simple. And there's so many, obviously, like years ago, if you were going to elope, you used to run away to Gretna Green, but these days there's so many lovely venues throughout Cornwall and all over really that do the elopement. So yeah, we do a lot with we've done a lot at the Green, Lusty Glaze, I think, and well, there's loads of venues that do them. So yeah, just simple, and we try and keep it as simple as possible, because obviously lots of couples come down from up country to get married down here. So we've got a little package that we just do for them, where they can just come in and pick up, or we can deliver just a bride's bouquet, a buttonhole. They can either leave it to us with what they're having, they can tell us what colours, and we'll just create something for them, something seasonal, pretty, or they can be a bit more involved in it, and they can say, you know, we want this, this and this. But it's generally just a little bit more simpler, and yeah, just easy, chilled, like a nice little elopement.
Oh, how far do you travel then for weddings? Because obviously I've worked with you in Plymouth, and then in Exeter the other day you provided for a wedding, and then I know you go further into Cornwall.
Yeah, so unfortunately we've not done any abroad ones yet, but we're always up for that. But generally, yeah, Exeter, probably Honiton is about our upper limit, maybe. We've done a couple in like Bude, Ilfracombe previously, and then down sort of Fowey and Burnett, that sort of area. So yeah, we don't go into the depths of Cornwall, because obviously between those sort of Honiton and Burnett there's like immense amount of venues in between. But yeah, we cover a good area. Yeah, it's there's some beautiful venues. So yeah, we're really lucky down here.
Brilliant. Yeah, there's so many lovely weddings to choose from. I just realised my name is wrong on there. How embarrassing. Let me just change that. Okay, it's under my daughter's name at the minute, a bit confusing. Okay, Yes. So how has your lockdown journey been for your brides? I know we're kind of out of major lockdown, but, you know, what's that kind of looked like, your COVID-19 journey? How has that affected your weddings, your business? Because I know you've still been extremely busy, but not with weddings. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so in the beginning, I think everyone was just sort of, although we I guess we knew it was, you know, we all knew it was going to happen, the lockdown. We didn't really know in sort of what form or how quickly or whatever. And I think that initial week for florists, it was Mother's Day. So initially, we were like in panic thinking, oh, don't lock us down on Friday, because obviously we've all got all these flowers in ready to go out on Sunday. So I was just at the time grateful that we got to the Sunday. But we did have a wedding on the Friday. The girls who always call me mad because I always end up getting a wedding or two at Mother's Day, which is stupid, but I do it every year. So yeah, we had one on the Friday, and she was really, really lucky, because the Friday night at midnight, we were like, that was it then. And we were supposed to be having a wedding on the Saturday as well at Nos Mayo and St Elizabeth's, and she sort of made the decision on the Wednesday before that she was going to cancel. So that was really sad for her, that she sort of moved. So initially I was just grateful that we got through that weekend, and then I obviously, after that Saturday, I sort of said to the girls, you know, the staff, that obviously we had to shut. And then from the Monday, it was all a bit unknown. So I opened my laptop and just, obviously the amount of emails that were coming through, you know, we've postponed, we've had to move, all these dates. And obviously we didn't know how long it was going to be for or whatever first. So a lot of couples initially just moved like a few weeks or to August or whatever. And now obviously we know that, you know, that's not happening either, really. So loads of them have moved now to next year. But I think it's just been really up and down, a mix of emotions for all of them, really. I've moved all of them that have asked me to move, really. We had between sort of March and now, I've moved about 60 weddings.
Wow.
To next year, really. None of them I don't think are doing this year now. So yeah, all of them to next year. So we're really super chocker next year, because obviously we already had a few booked in for 2021, and now all these other ones have sort of moved in between. So yeah, I mean, it's been a bit up and down. I've been super busy because I've been working on my own. It's sort of back to the days of when I started on my own. I've been like delivering, ordering, making. It's been a bit crazy, but yeah, it's been quite nice actually. I think it makes, like everyone says, and everyone has been saying, it sort of made you reevaluate a little bit of how you do things. And although it has been super busy, and I've been crazy, obviously trying to get in amongst, move everyone through all the emails and stuff and move them all to next year. It has given me the opportunity to sort of think, do I want to do anything differently? Maybe not next year, but for 2022, you know, we're all planning a bit further ahead now. But it's been really nice as well, because it's meant with a lot of couples, obviously for florists, although we sort of chat throughout the time since they book and initial consultations, and then to the meeting, we like chat and catch up. We don't really chat in depth about lots of different things. So it's been really nice that we've got to know couples a little bit more, because obviously they've been chatting, saying, you know, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think? What's your advice? What can we do? So it's been nice in that sense as well. We've got to know them a little bit better. And also from a sort of business point of view, it's been really nice to see how many customers and how many old brides actually have been loyal to us. Sort of come back, just even little bouquets and stuff, sort of supporting us through this. So it's been all supporting me through it. Yeah, it's been really lovely. But we're now obviously seeing little weddings coming back. So those bigger ones that maybe were going to happen next year, they've had a change of heart and decided that now they're going to maybe get married in a week or something, or you know, in the next month, just do a smaller ceremony and what have you. So that's really nice, getting back into that now. We've done a couple over the last couple of weeks, so just small ones, elopements and just look like under 30 people sort of weddings. So that's been really nice. So yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, but I think we're coming out the other side of it now. So yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I can't say it's all been horrible. It has been a bit funny, and everyone knows it's been funny. But you know, it could have been worse for me, definitely. You know, I've been busy and I've been kept busy. So yeah, it's all right with that.
That's good. Yeah, yeah, I love your bouquets. that you've been doing for what flowers was it the other day? I can't remember.
Peonies.
Yeah, that was it. They were amazing.
Yeah, it's really nice.
They were
really
so popular, weren't they?
Yeah, bride loves peonies, and they it's a really short season really, but everyone loves them. So we did like a little day of delivering them, and they were so popular. We got rid of like 350 stems of them on a day. Yeah, which was mad, but it was really good. And then they've sort of finished now, and obviously normally we'd have them in every week for weddings because they'd be going into weddings. Every wedding has peonies in summer. Most people like them, so white, pink, all that sort of thing, they're in every week. So it was nice to get a whole whack of them in and send them out, to everyone, and people have them in their homes instead. So yeah, that was
nice. No, it's been lovely. I love seeing how businesses kind of doing different things.
It's really interesting
because it's just really seeing how people adapt and change. It's been really good. Really interesting.
Lots of like little postal things, or just finding different ways of getting their products out. It's been really lovely to see, and it's actually, I think, for a lot of people it's made them buy more locally rather than from big supermarkets and stuff, which as like you and I both, we both need that, don't we? Little businesses, all support. So
yeah. I know, gosh. So what has been, for a bride that's rescheduling their wedding, whether that's they're thinking of doing something quite quick. I know we had a bride the other day who, so she'd rescheduled, she planned 3 weddings, and she'd had a wedding for April and then rescheduled it till July, another big wedding, but then obviously found out that she probably won't be able to have a really big wedding. So then she obviously rescheduled and gave us 8 days to plan a whole wedding, which
really lovely.
Isn't the normal situation, but because I was available, obviously I could do it, and then you were available, so you did it, and it was amazing. So obviously that's quite a rare situation, but I imagine there'll be some brides who might be thinking, when should I reschedule? So what would your advice be to brides who are thinking about rescheduling in regards to kind of their flowers and things like that? Because I know with the wedding you just had, the bride just said, here is our colour scheme. And she was kind of happy with what with your ideas and stuff. So how does it normally work with the process of rescheduling?
Yeah, so obviously normally this time of year is we're flat out with weddings, and we wouldn't normally be able to do one that quickly. But obviously at the moment, with things the way they are, it's nice for people to just get in touch, and if we can help out, we definitely will. But I think if you're going with that sort of plan, then just bear in mind that maybe you need to be a little bit more not so picky in the nicest possible way. So just think of like a colour scheme and seasonal flowers, maybe, if you've just given them a few days. In terms of like rescheduling for next year, I would say, and I'm trying to say to all my couples, just give us as much notice as you possibly can. Obviously I've not said no to anyone yet. I've moved them all, and I know that I've got a few other florist like friends that I was at college with and stuff that are going to help me next year, because there's quite a few weekends that are going to be crazy. But obviously at some point we're going to have to say no to people because there's only so much we can do. So yeah, just give us as much notice as possible. I think a lot of couples are moving, so if their wedding was in October this year, they're going for October next year. So in that sense it's really good, because the flowers that we initially had the consultation about and they've initially chosen are still going to be available. So there's not going to really need to be any changes in that sense. Obviously we'll chat to them and meet with them, and if they've changed the heart of things then we can change it. But yeah, in general I think most people have moved to the same sort of season, but those that haven't, they've been quite clear that they don't mind changing their flowers. They're quite understandable with that. But yeah, I'd just say my biggest piece of advice would be to get in as quickly as possible. Often florists are quite far down the list of people to contact because I don't know why, but they just are generally. So it is imagine a wedding day without flowers.
I know.
But no, just get in as quickly as you can, really, to and just be open and honest and say, we're having to move it. And I think most of the the good suppliers that I know, my florist friends and other suppliers, they're all quite happy to move because it's just a situation. We all just need to be as helpful as we can be, really. I know I am, and a lot of my friends are. So yeah,
Yeah, no, we've had experience with a couple of venues have had, you know, different rules than other suppliers, but I think, you know, it just must be so different for them to
it's difficult for everyone, isn't it?
Switch it. Yeah. So but yeah, it's been really lovely seeing how people have been so helpful, you know, like, you know, you saying your florist friends helping you out. We've had the same with photography, where photographers have been able to cover each other's weddings and swap things over, which has been really good. It's so lovely to see how people come together. So what would you advise to a couple who is just starting their wedding planning journey? Obviously during lockdown, I don't know if you're still doing face-to-face meetings, or you know, what would you advise people who are literally starting planning their wedding? You know, is it any different at the moment, or can they just, you know, do the same kind of things they would normally be able to do with regards to flowers?
I guess all florists are different. I'm not currently seeing anyone, simply because I'm working on my own at the moment and I can't fit in so many sort of face-to-face consultations and things. But obviously I'm still booking weddings for next year, for 2022. So I would say still get in touch with a florist, still message them, still say, you know, this is our potential date or our definite date or whatever, and see what they say. I mean, I always say at the moment, for the last 3 months, we've been saying just drop us an email, write us a list of, you know, what you think you're going to need. So brides bouquets, buttonholes, whatever. Or if it is just that, then obviously just let us know. And also some pictures. Pinterest is really good for that. So just gather some pictures, some ideas, even if they don't end up being exactly what you end up with in the end. Just some styles, some types of, so that your florist can get sort of an initial idea of what you might like. Pop it across to them, and then I've been at the moment giving some approximate prices and ideas based on that, and then obviously trying to book in from August for a proper consultation. So you can definitely start planning, you can definitely start chatting to florists and getting a date penciled in with them to see if they're available. So yeah, don't be put off by not necessarily being able to go in to see them. Yeah, definitely.
I love Pinterest. It's brilliant. I think it's a really good way. We use it a lot for photography, because I think trying to describe something, especially with flowers as well, I don't know, I love flowers, but I don't know what hardly any of them are. So I think Pinterest is such a good way to kind of show, you know, illustrate your style, because I just think it's really hard to describe in words. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the only thing for me with Pinterest is I love Pinterest and I use it for a lot of my brides. I put a sort of a collage together of the flowers we've talked about so they can go away and look at it. Yeah. But the only thing for florists is very often they're either A, silk, or B, got a filter on the picture. So they come in and say, we'd like this, and it's like a brown rose, and it's not real. So you try. I can try, but it's not going to be exactly. That's the only thing with Pinterest for us. But no, it is really good. I do use it a lot. But you just need to make sure that you've got a proper picture.
Manage their expectations. No, we get that. We get pictures saying, oh, I'd love this. I'm like, yeah, that's in California. The light's quite different in England.
Yeah.
But it's good to get an idea. So what's your next steps in your business when lockdown is kind of, you know, lifting and easing? What's kind of what are you planning on? Kind of how are you, you know, I know you can't have your meetings yet, so what are you
well, that's more because I'm working on my own, but from August I'm hoping that the staff are going to start coming back. So yeah, I've got another Hannah, and then my mum that works for me, and another girl, so Alia. So she's Hannah's coming in this week for a meeting just to sort of go through any plans and obviously what we need to be doing in here that's, you know, a bit more careful, and how we're serving customers and stuff. So yeah, from August I'm hoping that we're back to pretty much normal, really. You know, weddings, as I say, we've got a few in August that are still sort of pending whether or not they're going to go ahead or not, so we've got those to potentially do, and general floristry work is still carrying on. You know, we've got the other side of it, the stud side of it, that's still been going on all through this, and then obviously like bouquets and stuff. So I'm hoping from August that we'll start having brides back in. We'll start chatting a bit more, whether that be by FaceTime, Zoom, whatever. If, you know, I've got a bit more time then when the girls are back to help as well. So yeah, I'm hoping from August we'll be back to normal a bit more.
Cool. Yeah, it'd be good to have your staff back. I imagine it's been quite lonely in your
Yeah,
big
it's been a bit
studio,
funny.
just with you and the
Yeah,
flowers.
I'm only myself anyway.
So looking forward now to kind of 2021, I don't know if you obviously weddings, you know, there are wedding trends, and it's been quite interesting hearing how some planners and stylists follow them and they love them and they totally embrace them and they really encourage them, and some people don't even look at trends, they just do their own thing. So, you know, what kind of thing do you do, and do you you know, is there any kind of color palettes, designs, you know, floral designs or flowers that you're looking to see in 2021, 22?
I think with flowers, there are obviously trends. You know, the colours we try and fit in. A couple of years ago, it was like everyone liked the blues, and but generally through flowers, the classic sort of whites and blush pink are always a mega favourite, and really heavy on the foliage as well. That's still around, which I love, because
I love that too.
Yeah, just that little bit of rustic, especially in this part of the world, with all the venues are sort of country-ish, and you know, a lot of them, so lots of eucalyptus and all that sort of thing. So yeah, that is still very heavily featuring in a lot of our weddings for next year. We've got a beautiful one coming up at Rockbeer. You might have seen the picture, I've shared it with you before, with a staircase where we did all like foliage and really country-ish flowers. So that we've got that to do again next year. And that's really heavy on foliage, and all of the bouquets, really, little weddings and, you know, and the bigger ones, they all love that rustic look. Most of them, obviously, others, you know, not all of them do. Some like a neat bouquet of just roses and all white and crisp, but yeah, generally rustic is still featuring heavily all the way through. And with marquees, we've got, it's nice actually these days, we've got a lot more of the sort of hanging installations, so sort of foliage is hanging around the either a marquee, or we're doing quite a few at Palawn next year, and they've got lots of sort of hanging foliages along drapes and sort of in the summer house.
They're lovely.
And also all the outdoor ones on like on the chairs and stuff, lots of little bits of foliage and stuff. So yeah, foliage is a definitely heavy feature, although I will say blush and white, there is a couple of little ones that I've got coming up. They're just having really vibrant flowers. I've got one this week, just started chatting to me. They're getting married at the end of August at Bovey Castle, and they want just really vibrant. So that's really nice with different. Yeah, we did one actually last year, just a tiny one at I can't think where it was, somewhere in Loo. And she again was from up country. She came down to get married, and she just said, I don't mind what flowers it is, I just want it to be as bright as you can possibly make it. So to do that sometimes is a bit different, and it's really nice, and it makes lovely photos for us to sort of, you know, get in and put in our album, whatever. It really stands out. Yeah, it's nice.
I love that other bouquet that you shared that was with the kind of reds, the other one that you sent me. What was that one?
Oh, that was that was a Christmassy one, I think.
Yeah, that's really nice.
In it. Yeah.
Oh, I love Protea. Yeah, that's really nice. I had that in my bouquet. Foliage and Protea, before it was trendy. So anything else? So yeah, I don't know if there's any other things that, you know, brides tend to ask you about flowers and things like that. So, you know, is there any other questions that you think, answers to questions that you think might be helpful?
Obviously brides, you know, very often they've never done it before, so they're often need a little bit of advice on simple things like who has buttonholes, what should I do about tables, should I have tall table decoration, should I have short. So yeah, it's always good to help with all of that, those sorts of questions. So buttonholes, yeah, you know, just generally groom, best man, groomsmen, and then mums and dads and grandparents if you want to. That's sort of the basic ones, and then after that, that's up to you whether or not you want to go further. But yeah, also, yeah, as I say, what table decorations, we've got lots of stuff that we hire out, so that sometimes helps, because when they come in, we show them all the different vases and stuff that we've got, or again, if they've seen stuff on Pinterest, that we can sort of work with them to get ideas for their tables.
I love the big tall things at the end of the aisle on Saturday's wedding. They were absolutely amazing. I love the really tall blue and purple.
Yeah, they were local actually as well. They were just grown in Cornwall. Yeah,
that was amazing. They just looked like it just transformed the whole aisle. It was just incredible.
It is. I think sometimes if you have like a just a couple of larger pieces, even if it is just a small wedding, you know, at the moment, you can move them around. You don't have to, you know, people think that you're just going to have them at the end of the aisle and that's it, but actually they look really good in the background of other photos. So if you like the weekend wedding when they moved to Rugby, you know, you could put them there or whatever. So it's good to have, which actually is another thing that brides ask me, is there anything they can sort of reuse and get obviously the most out of their flowers? So very often we say reuse, like a registrar arrangement, and the top table, maybe the chair ends, you can dot around in windowsills or whatever. Sometimes if it's just like a smaller wedding and there's a couple of bridesmaids bouquets, they'll use those for table decorations. We've done that a few times. You know, sometimes obviously questions are how can we save a bit of money sometimes as well, but, which is fine because that's what you want at the end of the day. But it's all little bits of advice. But just a couple of statement pieces like that is really good actually, because you can get the most out of those.
Yeah, they're beautiful, because that's the thing, it was a small wedding but in quite a big room in a church that wasn't necessarily the best lighting, but it literally just looked
your photos look
really pretty.
Really lovely.
Really nice. So how can people get in touch with you? So obviously I will share all your links in the thing, but if someone wanted to find out about, you know, a wedding for next year or kind of last minute for this year, if their plans have changed, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
If it's last minute, I would say either drop me an email or give me a phone call. I'm obviously in the studio all the time. We've got a landline here, and I've got mobile, so phone or email is preferable, but obviously I've got all the other bits as well, so Instagram, Facebook, you can drop me a message. I'm not always as quick to reply on those at the moment just because it's crazy busy, but I will get that to you as soon as possible.
Great. I'll just check, so I think there are a few comments on the Instagram, or they might have all just been millions of waves. Thumbs up. Let's have a look. More waves.
Oh, how do you maintain your motivation? How
do you maintain your motivation? Wow.
I think it's a strong question. I think because I just love my job, to be honest. It's not that I really like coming to work, is it? It's it's easy when you love your job, I think, and obviously every day that I come in is a bit different. Sometimes we have really sad days, you know, if we've had a funeral or whatever, but generally it's lovely, you know, it's a lovely job. You're surrounded by flowers and lovely things all the time, so it's not really anything to be unmotivated about apart from when it's, you know, sometimes it gets a bit much when it's super busy and it's like at the minute you're on your own, but no, I still love it. I wouldn't do anything else.
It must just smell so lovely all the time.
Somebody said that to me today. They walked in and said, "Oh, it smells amazing in here," and I said, "I can't smell it."
Oh.
Working in a fish and chip shop, isn't it? Like you get used to the smell. You just don't smell it at all.
The bouquet on Saturday, actually, everyone was saying, "Oh wow, you can smell the mint," and you could literally smell it.
That's lovely.
It was amazing.
Really love adding something like that to a wedding bouquet, like mint or lavender or something, because I think, you know, you've got it hold all day, hopefully, if you love it. And that, I think, for future, whenever you smell mint, it's just going to remind you of that, isn't it? I think, which I really lovely. Really lovely thing, I think, to try and incorporate lots of smelly things, and like something that you're gonna walk past and find easily in you know, brush past it in the garden or whatever, and you'll just think, oh, that was my wedding bouquet.
It's really nice. Someone else has said Hannah is the absolute best, has never let us down. Leslie Ann Channing.
Nice.
Oh I'm just reading them out because they'll go when we save it. I'll just see if there's any more. Someone else said hi, Rosalie Moore.
Rosie, that's hi Rosie.
He's got and just loads of waves. Great. All right then, well, that's lovely. So if anyone's just joined at the end, we will add it to we'll save this in a minute and add it to the Liberty Pearl IGTV, and then I'll also share it to the page, and then I'll send the links with Hannah, and then she can upload them when she gets them, so probably over the next couple of days. But yeah, thank you so much, it's been really helpful. And if anyone's got any questions about anything, just either send it to me or Hannah, and we'd love to help with your wedding planning needs, or even if you just want some advice, you know, we're happy to answer any questions. Have a chat. Yeah, we love chatting weddings. All right, well, thanks very much, and yeah, I look forward to working with you again soon, Hannah.
Yeah, Angie. Take care. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.